Welcome to the Legionary. Right now I'm walking along a trench which was only 2 years ago was on the front line of the war with ISIS. What I thought we'd do today is look at an interesting part of history, Roman history of course. So I'm standing in what would have been the Roman province of Assyria, modern day Kurdistan, northern Iraq. In 113 AD, the Emperor Trajan launched a campaign against the Parthian Empire. They had an on-off relationship for many years of trade and sort of conflict. He launched his campaign from the shores of the Mediterranean and moved into what is Armenia. So by 114 he'd pretty much conquered Armenia, and then he moved south down into Mesopotamia. So by 115 or 115 AD, he'd effectively conquered Mesopotamia, which is modern day northern Syria, or Syria, northern Iraq. He then moved south down to Nineveh. Nineveh is modern day Mosul. So 116 AD, Trajan crossed the Tigris River at Nineveh and moved into Adiabene, not quite sure how you pronounce that, which is part of modern day Kurdistan. He took the capital of Adiabene, which was Arbala, modern day Erbil. So he'd already conquered a hell of a lot of northern Iraq by that point. Not satisfied with that, he decided to move south. So he would have followed the Tigris down and went all the way down to a city called Ctesiphon. Ctesiphon is south of modern day Baghdad. That's 350 odd kilometers already in just one year. So from Arbala right down to Ctesiphon. He didn't stop there though. With that, he decided to move further east and ended up in a city in Iran, which is east of Baghdad, called Suse. So he moved through the plains and just entered what was Persia at the time, modern day Iran, and took the city of Suse. So that was all accomplished by 117 AD. Trajan promptly withdrew and ironically died on his return trip to Rome. So he never made it home. He died somewhere in modern day Syria. So it just goes to show all that for nothing. Legionary, I'm trying to capture that period of 100 AD because that's the equipment I'm using, that's the armour I'm wearing, and it's depicted on Trajan's column. So if you look at the carvings, the stone carvings on Trajan's column in Rome, you can see legionaries wearing the same equipment that I'm wearing, and obviously those same soldiers wearing that same equipment would have travelled with the Emperor Trajan to places such as this. So there you go, reliving another bit of history. So I thought it'd be interesting just to show you this area and how that links into modern day history as well. Because as we know, Iraq's been plagued by conflict, and it was no different back then. So, to close this, I'd say that part of the Legionary is trying to understand what it was like for a Roman soldier in the period of, between 0 and the year dot and 100 AD. And what better way to do that than by visiting the very areas he marched, fought and lived in.